Dear students, good evening. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 30th October 2020. The first article for discussion is the India-US Defense Partnership is deepening. In this article, we will explore the evolution of this partnership. It is very important for the reason that today India is called as a non-NATO ally of USA and also a major defense partner to the country. Then, how did this relationship move so far is the question before us. In 1991, Kicklighter proposals have come up. What he proposed is this: contacts have to be established between Army, Navy, and Air Force between these two countries. Based on this, a minute on defense cooperation is concluded in 1995. In 1998, India conducted nuclear tests and USA imposed sanctions. Here, great work was done by Yashvardhan with Talbot. Mr. Talbot was the US Secretary of State, Deputy Secretary of State. Jaswant Singh was India's Foreign Minister. And in 2005, for the first time, a framework agreement has come up. It is a 10-year framework for defense relationship that came into existence. Again, it extended in 2015 after 10 years got completed. It has laid foundation for the institutional mechanism for areas of cooperation like intelligence sharing, joint military exercises, joint training programs, etc. In 2008, Bush has pushed all his might and got a nuclear waiver for India. An India-U.S. civil nuclear cooperation agreement was signed, which is a landmark relationship point. And after that, joint declaration on defense cooperation. And Obama, when he visited in 2015, joint strategic vision for Asia Pacific and Indian Ocean region has come into existence. Slowly, this Asia Pacific has become Indo Pacific. Now, 2016, India is declared as a major defense partner. How can you quantify this relationship? The defense trade deals between these two countries today, they stand at $18 billion, highest with any other country. Previously, there were few millions. Next is, yesterday we have 2 plus 2 talks, that is Secretary of State, Defense Secretary of United States of America had talks with Foreign Affairs Minister and Defense Minister of India. In this, all the foundational agreements have finished with the signing of bilateral exchange cooperation agreement for geospatial cooperation. What are the other agreements we signed? Limova, Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, COMCASA, Communication Compatibility and Security Agreement, GISMOVA, it is General Security of Military Information Agreement, and latest is BICA, Bilateral Exchange and Cooperation Agreement for Geospatial Cooperation. These are the things which are being signed. Today, either it is Democrats or Republicans, whoever comes to power in United States of America, India's position with US is expected to continue. It means we have bipartisan support from the entire political spectrum. The reason is the Indians are our expats. They are becoming very significant with regard to US elections are concerned. Bill Clinton visit to India happened after 22 years. Before that, there was Jimmy Carter, I think, who visited India. After that, the visits have become more or less regular. Every US president, after taking the office, is visiting India. In this case, initially US India are called estranged democracies. Today they are called as natural allies. And Prime Minister Modi, what he said is, let us leave that, what those hesitations of history behind. So it means US India relationship has sufficiently moved forward. So remember the word hesitations of history in your answer, and estranged democracies to natural allies. These 2 points you have to reflect in your answer. Next article is an eviction in Sri Lanka, this day, that age. LTTE, who said representing the interests of the Tamil minorities in Sri Lanka, has forcibly evicted displaced Muslims, Tamil Muslims from northern province. Today, these are displaced and settled in different parts of Sri Lanka. So they have faced victimization in the hands of the Tamils in the northern province and Sinhalas where they got settled. Even after 30 years, they do not have any security and there is no solution foreseen for their problem. Especially after Easter Sunday attacks, these Muslims are being more suspected rather than received. It is the time we have to talk about or think about rehabilitation to ensure pluralistic values of Sri Lankan society. The next article is Gaps in Learning. Yesterday, Acer report has come up. It has exposed that students do not have basic reading materials and smartphones to catch up to the learning in this COVID 19 period. In this case, the problem has to be solved, means what has to be done. Remember, digital divide bridging may be difficult in a short run. And second, supply of the materials and bringing in observational learning in the local environment can become easy. We need to bring in more innovative methods. If you see TV has reached the nook and corner in India. In that case, TV can be made as a medium to deliver the necessary lectures to the students. Kerala tried this. This can bridge the digital divide. So, if we have to bridge these learning losses, compensate these learning losses, innovative modes of teaching are required. That is what is the Acer report states to us. Next article is the US on the wane as a superpower. You know, after the collapse of the USSR, the world has become unipolar. And who is the mighty power in this unipolar world? We all know it is United States of America. But today, its power status is waning. That is what is the observation. What can be the reasons? USA moved away from multilateralism. This multilateral global order who established that after the Second World War, United States of America and its allies established that. In many of the problems of the world, climate change or pandemic, USA did not take up the leadership role. It more played a victim. So, a leader has to lead from front. A leader shall not cry victim. That is what the USA is doing. And on the other hand, globalization, it has made the wealth to move out of the USA. Especially US President Donald Trump stated that globalization did no good to United States of America. And lack of clear victory in its wars or conclusion in its wars is a major drawback. America is invincible. No longer people hold this particular opinion. America is vincible. It means America can be challenged. And the challenge is not coming from Russia or European powers. The challenge is coming from Asia, that is from China. Now, global order built by USA and its allies is not only getting challenged within, also from outside. Especially China, Russia, they are coming together. Now, China is demanding that a new global currency has to be brought in. And China wants to force the United States of America into various agreements. And the war, indirect proxy war, is going more or less between China and USA. And USA has huge debt to the tune of $16 trillion is the debt of USA. On the other hand, domestically USA is facing the challenges like never before. What are they? Racial polarization is the most important. USA is never divided as it divided today. Because of these extreme divisions, economic fallout, added to that, whatever the might it is giving out or the space it is giving out, all making the USA weak and visibly vulnerable. And USA is said to be the master, or USA is said to be the headman that promotes democracy across the world. But for its own self interest, it has toppled the democratically elected governments, especially in Latin America. That's where the moral threat to its hegemony has come up. Today, USA, when it preaches democracy, human rights, etc., many countries laugh at it. That is the moral threat it is facing. But on the other side, USA is still a superpower. And if USA is no more the superpower, then who is going to occupy its space? Is it China? These are the two questions. USA is militarily, economically dominant even today. Dollar is the most powerful and most respected currency worldwide. Next is US Fed. Its regulations are being watched carefully, and US Fed is also respected central bank. Remember, the biggest strength of USA today is its institutions. After that, high tech research and then other sectors and universities. Everywhere, USA still has its resilience. But however, innovation is shifting out of USA slowly, and capital is shifting out of USA slowly. Alternative global order institutions are coming up, such as AIIB of China, etc. So, in this scenario, on one side we say USA is vulnerable, but some people say it is still a superpower. But one point, if USA vacates that space, no country is ready to accept it or take that responsibility. And if China takes that responsibility, world is not ready for it. Obviously, if USA vacates that space, it will be occupied by regional powers here and there. This is the point we need to remember. The next article is less population, more soil fertility. This is about stubble burning. Two developments have come up. A permanent commission was appointed by government for air quality management in NCR Delhi. Second, IARI, it has developed a stubble decomposer, fungal decomposer. So this article states that the stubble decomposer can control air pollution and can also increase the soil fertility. The next article is lowest core sector shrinking since March. What is the core sector or core industry? So we have 8 different sectors which are together called core sectors. From the lockdown days till today, the shrinkage is lowest in September. It is only 0.8%. It is to show that our economy is regaining its normal potential. Yashvardhan likely to be the next CIC. Here, I am not worried about this name, but what I am worried about how institutions of RTI are getting weakened. Let us see certain statistics to reproduce in our answer related to RTI. 37,000 plus cases are pending in Central Information Commission. It is headless for more than 2 years, and commission is not completely filled. It is running at half the capacity. This is happening in spite of the Supreme Court's advice that all the commissioners have to be filled in a transparent manner and in a timely manner, but is not taken seriously by the government. The next is online transactions of non-farm properties in next 15 to 20 days. I want to introduce a new portal of Telangana government, that is Dharani portal. Across India, the biggest problem is land records. In streamlining the land records, land record management, registration of the properties, everything can be done online sitting at home. For that, Dharani portal is launched. You can quote this as an example in your answer. What is behind the spat between Turkey and France? Today, Turkey has got new neo-Ottoman foreign policy. It means it wants to extend its foreign influence across the world Ottoman Empire. Obviously, it is coming in conflict with the interests of France and also with the other countries in the region. The two countries, European countries, are Greece and Cyprus, which are supported by France. Similarly, the existing regime in Libya is supported by Turkey, and the extremist faction there is being supported by France. And religiously, if we observe, France wants to bring in a law to regulate the Islamic practices in France. The reason is The recent killing of a teacher, beheading of a teacher by a fanatic, and added to that, 12 journalists being killed in Charles Hebdo newspaper. All these have raised an issue that the practice of Islam has to be regulated, and that's why Macron made this particular decision. It is opposed by Turkey. And the fighting of Islamic separatism is stated as a reason for France. Turkey believes that it is connecting the religion and terrorism. And finally, remember, Turkey has got a strong arm president who has changed the constitution, and France has got the most powerful military in European region. Let us see how it turns out. These are the articles for today. Thank you very much. Right, thank you very much. Today my eye pencil is missing, so I am unable to write. Please excuse me for day. Thank you very much.